Imagine this. You've been working hard, giving your best, and yet nothing seems to fall in your favor. The opportunities slip away, the doors close, and you begin to wonder if luck itself has abandoned you. We've all felt that moment when life seems unfair, when effort doesn't match results, and when luck runs out. But here's the secret no one told you. Luck is not the end of your story. In fact, it's the turning point. Scientists have uncovered shocking truths about the human brain and about how success really works. Truths that rarely get mentioned in everyday conversations. And once you understand them, you'll realize that running out of luck is actually your greatest opportunity to take control of your life. Stay with me until the end of this speech, because what you're about to hear will not only challenge what you believe about luck, but also give you the tools to rise higher than you ever thought possible. This is not about waiting for fortune. It's about creating it. And by the time we're done, you'll see that the power to change your future has been within you all along. When luck seems to be running out, the first instinct for most people is to panic, to feel as though the universe is conspiring against them and that there is no way forward. Yet the truth is that luck is only a small part of the larger picture of human success. What science tells us, but what is rarely emphasized in day-to-day conversations, is that the brain itself has the ability to change, adapt, and rewire based on what we do, what we think, and the patterns we build into our daily lives. This ability is called neuroplasticity, and it is perhaps one of the most powerful tools that can be harnessed when someone feels that fortune is slipping away from them. Neuroplasticity shows that we are not fixed beings, destined to be ruled by luck or chance. Instead, we are flexible, adaptable, and capable of reshaping ourselves from the inside out. Think for a moment about how often people complain about bad luck. They may say that every time they try something new, circumstances go against them, or that opportunities always seem to fall into someone else's hands. But what is really happening here? If you break it down scientifically, the repetition of the same thoughts and the same actions creates deep grooves in the brain, neural pathways that essentially teach the brain to expect failure. These patterns reinforce negative beliefs, which then influence behavior and decision-making. If someone has taught their mind, even unconsciously, that they are unlucky, their brain will seek evidence of that belief, reinforcing the cycle. This is where neuroplasticity becomes life-changing, because it shows us that we can break out of these grooves by deliberately creating new ones. When luck is running out, instead of waiting for a stroke of fortune, the key is to actively train the brain to generate momentum through habits, vision, and resilience. Scientists who study the brain have found that mental rehearsal and visualization activate the same parts of the brain as physical practice. That means imagining yourself succeeding, visualizing the steps, and feeling the emotions of achievement wires the brain almost as if you have already experienced it. Over time, this doesn't just stay in your imagination. It translates into improved confidence, sharper focus, and more effective action in the real world. What people often mistake for sudden good luck is usually the result of consistent mental and behavioral conditioning. For example, athletes who consistently win championships are not relying on chance to perform. They have trained their bodies, yes, but equally important, they have trained their brains to stay calm under pressure, to respond automatically in stressful moments, and to believe in their ability to win. This is neuroplasticity in action. The repetition of winning thoughts and precise movements has carved out strong neural pathways that give them what seems like effortless skill. When luck is running out for the average person, they can borrow from this model by asking themselves, what kind of mental training am I doing each day? Am I letting my brain rehearse failure, fear, and worry? Or am I actively creating the mental environment where success becomes inevitable? Another dimension of neuroplasticity is habit formation. Habits are nothing more than repeated actions that solidify into automatic behaviors. When someone is experiencing a streak of bad luck, it is often a reflection of habits that are not aligned with their goals. For instance, a person might complain about never getting opportunities, but their daily routine may lack the discipline of learning new skills, networking, or seeking out challenges. Science shows that by stacking small positive habits, such as dedicating even 15 minutes a day to skill development, the brain gradually rewires itself to support growth instead of stagnation. Over weeks and months, these small changes accumulate and create entirely new opportunities that feel like a reversal of luck, but in reality, they are the predictable outcome of deliberate brain training. Resilience is another outcome of neuroplasticity that becomes critical when luck seems absent. Life inevitably brings setbacks, but the difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is how their brains interpret challenges. A resilient brain doesn't see failure as the end, but as data, a signal to adjust strategies and keep moving forward. Each time a person chooses to reframe a setback as feedback rather than defeat, they are reinforcing neural pathways that support perseverance. Over time, the brain becomes conditioned to respond with adaptability instead of despair. This is one reason why some people appear unshakable, even in the face of repeated failure. Their brains have been rewired to handle adversity with strength. What may look like extraordinary luck from the outside is actually extraordinary resilience from within. The science of neuroplasticity also sheds light on why some individuals seem to reinvent themselves even after devastating circumstances. They tap into the brain's ability to unlearn old patterns and learn new ones. If someone has always believed that they are unlucky in relationships, careers, or money, neuroplasticity offers the possibility of rewriting that script by deliberately practicing new thought patterns and new behaviors until the brain adopts them as the new norm. It is not magic, it is biology. Neural circuits that are not used begin to weaken and die off, while those that are exercised frequently grow stronger and more dominant. By focusing on gratitude, problem solving, skill building, and consistent action, anyone can essentially overwrite the idea of bad luck with a new narrative of progress and possibility. What scientists rarely mention when discussing neuroplasticity is how personal stories illustrate its power in ways that statistics cannot. Consider individuals who grew up in difficult environments with every odd stacked against them. By most definitions, they should have failed. Yet through deliberate change, choosing new mentors, building new routines, speaking new affirmations, they reshape not only their behaviors, but also their brain structures. Over time, what once seemed like a life of endless bad luck turned into a life filled with opportunities. Not because chance suddenly favored them, but because they literally became a different person, neurologically. This is the hidden science behind what society often calls a lucky break. The shocking part, the part that doesn't always get mentioned, is that neuroplasticity means we are never stuck. Even if someone has lived decades with the belief that luck controls their life, they can begin to change that belief today. Every thought repeated is a signal to the brain. Every habit reinforced is a vote for the future self. The process is not always instant, but it is always possible. And this is where strategy overtakes luck. The more intentional one becomes about reshaping the brain, the less relevant luck becomes, because success turns into a predictable outcome of consistent mental and physical practices. When luck seems to be running out, the real secret is not to chase fortune, but to harness the science of the brain's ability to adapt and change. Neuroplasticity shows that luck is not the deciding factor of success. It is the discipline of thought, the resilience of habit, and the persistence of vision that create new reality. What looks like luck from the outside is often just the inside work of a brain that has been trained to find solutions, to notice opportunities, and to keep moving forward no matter what. And in that sense, when luck runs out, it is not the end, but the beginning of a far more powerful journey, one where control shifts from chance to choice. When people say luck has abandoned them, it usually comes from a sense of helplessness, as though outcomes are determined by forces beyond their control. Yet science and history both reveal a surprising truth. What we often call luck is deeply tied to preparation. The individuals who appear fortunate are rarely just beneficiaries of chance. They are often those who have invested time, effort, and persistence into building the kind of readiness that allows them to seize opportunities the moment they appear. This is the preparation opportunity formula, and it explains why some people consistently rise while others remain stuck, even though they encounter similar situations. What scientists have shown, but rarely emphasize in public discussion, is that luck is not random in the way most people think. It is a byproduct of preparation aligning with external chances, and the more you prepare, the more you multiply the odds of favorable outcomes. Consider how opportunities present themselves. They rarely come announced, wrapped in clear instructions and perfectly timed. More often, they arrive disguised as challenges, unexpected encounters, or demanding tasks. Someone who has prepared through learning, through developing discipline, through strengthening networks, will recognize the value hidden in these moments. Someone unprepared will either miss the opportunity altogether or fail to capitalize on it. From the outside, the prepared person looks lucky, but in reality, their preparation has given them the eyes to see and the tools to act. This distinction is crucial because when luck seems to be running out, the path forward is not to wait for luck to turn, but to increase preparation so that the next chance is not wasted. Preparation in this sense is not only about acquiring technical skills or knowledge, it also involves cultivating mental readiness and emotional resilience. Imagine two individuals faced with the same sudden challenge. One has practiced adaptability, persistence, and problem solving. The other is not. The first sees the challenge as an opening, while the second views it as misfortune. This difference in interpretation is rooted in preparation. Scientists studying success outcomes in careers and personal growth have found that consistent practice and deliberate effort not only improve competence, but also shift perception. Those who are prepared notice possibilities that others overlook because their brains have been trained to look for connections and patterns. Thus, luck begins to appear less like fate and more like the natural result of preparation. Another dimension of the preparation opportunity formula is timing. Many people miss opportunities not because they lack talent, but because they're not ready when timing calls for action. Think of an aspiring entrepreneur who has studied their field, built relationships, and experimented with small projects. When an investor unexpectedly asks for ideas, that person can confidently present a plan. Another person, equally ambitious but unprepared, may find themselves stumbling or unable to act. To an outsider, the first person seems lucky, but in truth, it is the preparation that created the readiness for timing. The more one prepares, the more they stack the odds in their favor, and the less relevant luck itself becomes. What makes this concept powerful is how it challenges the myth of chance. Scientists have long studied how success correlates with consistent effort, and while random events play a role, the data shows that people who regularly invest in themselves experience far more lucky breaks. This suggests that luck is not something you wait for. It is something you create by multiplying your capacity to act when opportunities appear. Prepared is like a magnet for opportunity. Without preparation, opportunities slide past unnoticed. With preparation, even a small chance can grow into a major turning point. Take, for example, famous inventors, artists, or leaders whose careers seemed shaped by fortune. On closer inspection, their stories reveal years of preparation before their so-called lucky break. A musician who suddenly goes viral has often spent thousands of hours practicing and honing their craft. An athlete who becomes a champion has been training long before the world noticed. A business leader whose idea took off had usually been testing and refining concepts long before one caught the right attention. To the public, they are lucky. To themselves, they are the result of preparation meeting opportunity. The shock that science reveals but rarely highlights is that such outcomes are reproducible by anyone willing to follow the formula. When luck feels like it is running out, doubling down on preparation ensures that future chances will not be wasted. Preparation gives confidence, and confidence is often mistaken for luck. A confident speaker appears lucky to have charisma, but that charisma comes from hours of preparation and practice. A skilled negotiator seems lucky to always get good deals, but it is their preparation, rehearsing, strategizing that tip the balance. Each layer of preparation not only increases skill, but also expands the horizon of what is possible. As a result, the prepared individual encounters more opportunities than others, not because the universe favors them, but because their readiness attracts situations that would otherwise remain invisible. It is also important to understand that preparation multiplies opportunity by creating networks of influence and collaboration. Someone who is consistently learning and improving tends to connect with like-minded people, mentors, and collaborators. These relationships often open unexpected doors. An introduction, a recommendation, or a partnership that appears lucky to outsiders is usually the outcome of steady effort and preparation that build credibility and trust over time. This is another aspect that scientists note in studies of career progression. People who invest in preparation not only improve themselves, but also position themselves in environments where opportunities naturally circulate. What seems like a lucky encounter is often the natural extension of being prepared enough to be included in such circles. Even failure, when filtered through the lens of preparation, becomes a stepping stone rather than a dead end. Someone who prepares understands that failure offers lessons that feed future opportunities. Instead of lamenting bad luck, they extract insights and refine their approach, which increases their preparedness for the next chance. Over time, this cycle of preparation, attempt, adjustment, and growth creates what looks like an upward curve of luck, but in reality, it is a logical sequence that anyone can follow if they focus less on waiting for luck and more on deliberate preparation. What makes the preparation opportunity formula especially powerful is its universality. It applies across careers, relationships, education, and personal goals. A student who consistently studies is prepared to answer the difficult question when it appears on the exam. A professional who keeps learning new skills is prepared when an unexpected promotion becomes available. A person who takes care of their health is prepared when physical challenges come unexpectedly. In all these cases, those who seem lucky are simply those who prepared. Scientists have mapped out this principle in countless studies, but it rarely gets translated into everyday language, leaving many to mistakenly believe in luck as a force of chance rather than as an outcome of readiness. When luck is running out, the instinct should not be despair, but preparation. Every hour spent sharpening skills, every step taken to build resilience, every effort invested in broadening networks is a direct contribution to the possibility of seizing future opportunities. In this light, luck becomes less of a mysterious force and more of a predictable equation. The more one prepares, the more opportunities align. And while chance can never be eliminated entirely, preparation ensures that chance has far more ways to manifest favorably. The hidden truth that science reveals, but does not always make personal, is that anyone can cultivate this formula. And once it is embraced, the fear of bad luck loses its power. When we step back and look at both truths together, it becomes clear that luck is not the master of our lives. It is only a guest that comes and goes. The real power rests in how we train our minds and how we prepare ourselves for the future. Through the science of neuroplasticity, we discover that even when luck feels absent, we can rewire our brains, rebuild our patterns, and create new opportunities from the inside out. Through the preparation opportunity formula, we learn that what appears as chance is often nothing more than readiness meeting the right moment. Combined, these two lessons tell us that when luck is running out, it is not the end. It is the beginning of growth, of resilience, and of new possibilities that are earned, not given. So the next time you feel unlucky, remember this: you are not powerless. Every thought you repeat, every habit you build, every step of preparation you take is shaping a future where luck no longer controls you. The scientists may not always mention the names of those who live by these truths, but history remembers them as the people who turn their struggles into victories. Thank you for listening to this message with an open mind and heart. I wish you the courage to train your thoughts, the discipline to prepare beyond the ordinary, and the wisdom to recognize opportunity when it arrives. Good luck to you on your journey, and may every step you take lead you closer to the life you are working so hard to create.